Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is my ghost, my airship. I don't know. My favorite co-host on the Citadel. Bringing back that favorite, Josh Finney.
Hi, Corey.
Hi, Josh. I was not prepared for nicknames tonight.
It's okay. You know, it's been a bit of a weird day. It's been a weird week. I won't say it's been a week, but it's been a weird week.
It's been a weird week because I thought, first of all, we recorded a Boss Rush podcast on Tuesday instead of Wednesday this week.
Mm-hmm.
So half the day yesterday I thought was Thursday. And I was literally in the middle of texting you it's Tower Casuals Day, and then I remembered that it wasn't because all of my work podcasts record on Wednesday.
You know, it's funny that you did that because I spent half the day waiting for a TWAB that never came yesterday. So, and I mean, honestly, with how small it is, they could have kept it that way. So, I got really excited when I saw people sharing data mined images of Guardian Game stuff, thinking, "Ooh, boy, we got a TWAB today." We did not. Nor is any of that in the TWAB.
Yeah. So, fun fact. I was reading the TWAB, and I already found two mistakes not in grammatical mistakes, not like mistakes for the game. But there's under where we talk about the Arbalest Ornament has an extra space between the T and the apostrophe. And this is a question, and they end it in an exclamation point. Come on, guys.
You know, it's okay. It's okay. I'm going to let it slide because the person who wrote it, this is their first TWAB. I believe it's the German community manager.
Well, okay. Well, if he's
so
if
I'm
he's
gonna make a slight exception here.
Yes, I will excuse it this time, Bungie. This time.
You know what's not getting excused though, Corey? On a more serious
not getting
note.
excused? What?
So we both said how it's been an interesting week. It's been a weird week. For basically the entire length of this show, we've been talking about like these mega leaks that come around like once, maybe twice a year.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about this real quick. We're going to talk about this to start off, and then we'll go to Corey's show and tell for a lighter note.
Oh boy, show and tell.
So I'm not gonna name and shame. If you're chronically online like the rest of us, you already know who it is. But last Friday, Bungie comes out and surprises all of us. They tweet out on April 14th at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. They tweet out, community interaction and engagement is central to Bungie and our games. For years, we've invited creators and other members of the community to confidential summits to provide feedback on the future of Destiny. This is a beloved part of the process, but relies heavily on trust. Breaches of this trust could result in our inability to hold more summits. We take these breaches extremely seriously and are taking actions to reinforce our policies with those invited to these internal meetings. So of course that set off rampant speculation as to who were the perpetrators. There has been there's been groups on Reddit and on Discord that have been sharing images for a very long time, that have been sharing paste bins, and it's inspired a lot of fake paste bins over the years. We ourselves have said that we're never going to talk about leaks simply until Bungie confirms or denies the validity of them, because things can change.
Right.
The one exception we've made is after the content is in game, we'll talk about hey, this came out quite a while ago, this leaked out. For example, like the Lightfall presentation, we knew about like 3 weeks ahead of time. The Witch Queen infamously leaked almost 9 months before it came out. And so all that happens on Friday, and immediately speculation centered on one specific streamer. Again, I'm not gonna say their name. They've been a pretty big part of the Destiny community over the years, because they suddenly announced on their channel about 2-3 hours before this tweet went out that they would no longer be streaming Destiny 2, and made an offhanded comment that it was not their choice, it was Bungie's choice. Bungie had permabanned them, and that's that, and they were moving on. Said streamer went on to do an interview with Paul Tassi while asserting their innocence in the matter. Which, I mean, again, I think we've all learned from a few incidents in the past with this specific community. We should probably hold off on burning people at the stake until we know a little bit more. And And a lot of
That's not
content
how
creators.
the internet works.
That's not how the internet works at all, Corey. You're absolutely right. A lot of content creators, prominent ones that I really respect, were urging, everybody, hey, let's calm down. Let's not jump to accuse this person because, I don't personally think this person would do it. Well, upon further analyzation of the images and stuff, people were kind of pointing out, like, it really looks like this person's taskbar down there. Like, it looks exactly like it. But it looks like it was a picture taken off of their desktop and shared to somebody else. Whether they're the original leaker or not remains to be seen. But then Monday night, and I have to emphasize that this was Monday night because it came out. I saw this when we were playing games at around like 9:30. A1 Johnny and I were in a chat together, and this comes out, and because our security and legal teams have reviewed irrefutable evidence, including video recordings, verified messages, and images demonstrating a pattern over time that confirm the same individual shared confidential information from community summits spanning multiple years. We are very disappointed to learn this information and wish that things had gone differently with this person. We do not take these actions lightly and are confident in our decision. This is our final communication on the matter. This individual stated in their interview with Paul Tassi that Bungie had just banned their game account, was not suing them for breach of NDA or anything like that. And I think that was largely out of respect for what this person has meant to the community, what they've contributed over the years, specifically in the PvE scene. And I think that by Monday night, that goodwill was probably burned up. I'm not going to speculate on who Bungie may or may not be suing, but I think if you continually go out there and keep bringing it up and asserting that you're innocent after they've probably asked you to keep your mouth shut on it, it's probably not going to go too well for you.
Yeah, I couldn't say it would.
I deliberately do not want to throw this person under the bus. It's somebody that I've liked their content for a long time. It's really frustrating to see. There's been other content creators that we've either been too slow or too quick to throw under the bus in the past. And I don't think this is necessarily hey, we're going to throw this person under the bus. It's not like they got exposed for cheating or for running around and, I don't know, doing racial slurs, things like that. Like, they aren't being sex pests. They aren't, harassing minors, things like that. They shared confidential information, which is its own kind of problem, but like I think in terms of like a morality standpoint, far less egregious than the others. And it's like this person made a mistake, and it's a big fucking mistake. Don't get me wrong, that's a big fucking mistake. You're NDA'd, like, and need I remind everybody that it's not just Bungie. You've got the Sony lawyers now too.
Yeah.
So yeah, good luck with that one. Because you kind of went public and talked about what they told you they didn't want you to talk about. Right. So I don't know how this is going to play out. It is what it is. I know I personally would not be opening my mouth about any sort of speculation. I would let people's imaginations run wild. And I get that it's a reputation thing, but I don't remember who pointed it out. I want to say it might have been Liana, or it was somebody who works at Bungie and was like, hey, just so you guys know, we, like, all of us in this space, we talk. Like, you may think we all work at different studios. We all talk. Like, if you torpedo your chance with us or violate NDAs with us, you're probably not going to get as many chances with other, at least bigger studios ever again.
Right.
Like, this is a very small group of people that get to do shit like this, and you breach the trust of one of the more open studios out there, I think, when it comes to inviting people behind closed doors. And you couldn't keep your fingers off your phone, like, judging by when we started seeing the leaks that are circulating now. It's, for anybody wondering, it's for sure we knew it was relating to the Season of the Deep PowerPoint slides that we've seen, but they say pattern of years. We've had prominent leaks all the way back to Season of the Splicer. So who knows in that time frame what it was that got leaked out. We did see the internal presentation before the 30th anniversary, about 6 months before that, when we started hearing about that and the potential Halo weapons and things of that nature. That those, like, we saw blurry images of all that. I'm not going to say that person did it, but that's kind of when all this shit started.
Right.
Was back in like Q1, Q2 2021. And it's been going on for 2 years now. So if they say they've got the evidence, I'm kind of inclined to believe that. Not going to sit here and speculate on what the person did or didn't do, but there's been some pretty prominent leaks over the years. There's been a lot of seasonal shit that's leaked out too. Who knows? Like who
Yeah.
fucking knows at this point? Like what did or did not come from this person? I would suspect there's definitely more than one leaker. I mean, because a content creator would simply not know the entire plot of the fucking Witch Queen 9 months in advance.
Right.
When I say the entire plot, I mean the entire plot.
Yeah, I know.
So there are definitely people who either work at Bungie or who have worked there who feel like they have access to the grind. It's unfortunate because, and I saw people trying to justify this, right? Trying to be like, well, if Bungie just communicated with us more, and told us that things were coming, like theoretical power level changes, that's some everybody's fucking heard about that by now, right? If they would just communicate these things, I'm like, motherfuckers, we are 6 weeks out from a content launch. Now we're more like 4, but it's like we are like 6 or 7 weeks out from this. You cannot possibly be telling me that, oh, well, it's justified because Bungie was never going to tell us that. They always save big changes like that to talk about in the weeks leading up to it.
Right.
They'd already told us there wasn't going to be a power level increase next season. How dumb do you have to be like, well, it's justified because this season is still, like, at the time of the leaks, 2.5 months away. It's justified because Bungie never shares this shit with us. Like, no, y'all also got mad when they told us everything in advance. So pick one. Which one is it? Which one is it? Do you want everything fed to you on a platter and then complain about how, like, each season doesn't have surprises? Or would you rather be mostly surprised and just know about, like, core mechanics like power level changes that are coming? I think I'll take option number 2 every time.
Right.
I don't know. I think this is just like, it also shows like who understands game dev and who doesn't, based on, well, they could have just told us all this. Like, no, shit is always changing. You don't commit to something coming until you know you're going to hit that mark. If they could go back in time, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't bring up in-game LFG until this year.
Right.
Because that was already going to be a Q3 thing. I'm pretty sure they would have rather talked about it at the final shape reveal this year and been like, yeah, we're going to put it in beta this next season, then fully launch it in the 4th season.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Joe would love to go back and do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is all just like really, and then on top, and then on top of that, like immediately, maybe 48 hours later, we get Guardian Games data mines, which just, I was fucking howling seeing that.
Gross. That's all I have to say is it's gross.
I
don't understand why. I don't understand why people just can't, like, and I know this is silly to say in 2023, but like, why can't people just respect the process?
I mean, come on, like we've all heard about the Sixers. Trust the process, right? Trust the fucking process. I don't understand what you get out of this. Like, your name wasn't attached to any of it. What the fuck did you get out of this by, like, seeing the community react to this shit like this instead of organically?
Right.
And I think we've all seen over the years how it leads to absolute meltdowns.
Yep.
Over things that haven't even come out yet. I mean, we've been seeing it for the last couple weeks over these Season of the Deep leaks. We saw it with the Lightfall ones. We saw it with the Witch Queen ones. Like, this community loves to get itself up in arms until something's actually in the game. They get to experience it. And they're like, hey, hot damn. That's actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, no shit. It's always better when you get to actually experience it rather than read a giant blob of text talking about it.
Right. Man.
It's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
God, people suck, man. Like,
people fucking suck.
Anyways, people suck. This is dumb. I'm. Here's the thing. I'm glad that they caught the person and did what they did. Right. I don't wish ill will on anybody, but, like, man, if you're gonna continuously do this and do this and do this, and you don't expect any consequences, like, man, you.
Yeah, and then, like, act surprised when you got caught.
Right.
And be like, well, I didn't do that. Like,
Right.
well, survey
Me?
says. Nani? Yeah, survey says. Anyways, I think it's really this is just ridiculous and really silly.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like at the end of the day, it's just like I don't know. And which is my last thought. I don't know what you got out of this. I don't know what you got out of this other than seeing a community get riled up for no reason and then proceeding to be like, we need to stop complaining as a community. We need to like take a deep breath. Like, motherfucker, you're the one who put it out there.
Right.
The secret's out now. Golly. I just never meet your heroes. Never meet your heroes, kids. Never meet your heroes.
Never meet your heroes.
Unless it's Michael Rooker and you're having shots with him.
Hmm.
Because that was a glorious moment. But Corey, I believe you have something lighthearted to steer us off this topic. You have show and tell.
I do. All right, Josh, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
So, I haven't opened any of them yet, really.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, these are not important. These ones are important. Okay, so I got me one of these.
Oh,
Sealed.
he got himself a Lightfall, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a Puka.
Sure did. Sure do. Look at that. We got ourselves one of these, Josh.
Ooh. By my money, probably the best collector's edition they've done.
Yeah.
For Destiny. It's close between that and the Destiny 1 Ghost Edition.
Yeah. Well, I have that too, but I showed that off last week.
You did.
And then, Josh, I got this to round out the celebration of the show. Okay.
I may end up acquiring myself a Beyond Light one eventually.
They're getting expensive, man.
I know. I really just want the Shard of Darkness out of it is the main thing I want.
Yeah. Well, you can buy that separately. Those
yeah,
different.
I'll probably get that, and I want to get that in the base Destiny 2 Collector's Edition with the Cabal box inside of it.
This one?
Yep.
Or the one with the bag?
Nope, that one. I had the chance to buy the one with the bag for like $50 for a couple of years off Amazon, and just kept deciding not to.
Yeah, I mean, I got this when it came out, but I just I didn't feel like I needed the bag.
No, I was very close to being done with Destiny altogether when Vanilla came out, and after I played Vanilla, I was like, oh man, I'm actually really glad I didn't buy a collector's edition this time.
Yeah.
How the turntables turn, Corey.
I know. So here's the thing, though. Anybody out there that listens, if you are looking to get rid of a Shadowkeep collector's edition, if you're one of them lucky people who bought one, my DMs are open. We'll talk. Just saying. Throwing it out there.
Whew, the Shadowkeep ones are they're getting pricey, my friend.
I know. It's
I'm not jazzed about it. You want to know other things I'm not like super jazzed about.
What aren't you jazzed about, Josh?
So I'm assuming that we've both played the story mission this week. There was a surprise story mission that was dropped on us.
Surprise.
At the end of it, and it was an okay mission. It was a nice little wrap up to the season. I did enjoy seeing some NPCs in the mission. I just wish they had actually been fighting with us and not behind, a glass pane.
Right.
It's basically just infiltrating the same ship from the third battleground.
Shocker.
But at the end, you have the opportunity to buy. I love how they phrase this. You have the opportunity to buy. There's a ship model in Bungie Rewards, and it's Amanda Holliday's ship. Supposedly, it's the one that we always see her fly. Yeah. It is not, in fact, the exotic ship that is given to you at the end of the quest, which looks nothing like this. It's very Tex Machina themed, the ship that you get. But you can buy her ship, and I didn't know it was in there until people started tagging me, and they were like, "Oh my god, Josh, are you going to get this?" And Nerd was like, "Yep, he's opening his wallet right now. There you go." And I thought about it. I looked at this, and I was like, this actually looks kind of nice shaped. Then I looked at the price, and I was like, absolutely not. 125 buckaroos for this thing.
I know.
And I'm like,
man,
I bought that Vex Caliber weapon plaque for half of this.
Yeah.
And that was limited to 3,000.
This stuff is getting expensive, man.
It's getting expensive, and it's like, but I like that they keep doing so many things, because I am getting to the point though where, like, if they don't start reducing the shipping costs on some of the smaller shit, I don't know how much more I'm going to be buying.
Yeah.
It's to the point where, like, with like the books, for example, I'll gladly wait an extra month or two and get them off Amazon for $10 less and free shipping.
Hmm. Yeah.
I look at this and I was like, I saw a lot of people being like, "Oh, I think that's kind of cool," and I'm like, "It is cool." And then I remember that I have the Mega Bloks Destiny One ship out in my
Oh yeah.
living room, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I don't think I need this. I think I'll pass. I'm good. I'm good. I bought the Vexcalibur plaque not even a week ago."
Right.
So, and that won't even come in until like close to Christmas time. So I'm like, I'm okay. I just bought a couple seal pins. I'm gonna have another one or two at the end of this season to get. Still waiting on several. I'm good. I'm gonna hold off on this one.
Yeah.
I'm
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 not. I'm.
I'm gonna pass
I'm
respectfully.
not. I'm not gonna get this. My heart now lies with the 12-inch statues, and I will get those as they
Yeah,
come.
so that's the thing, is the 12-inch statues have definitely gotten me too. Like, I really
Hmm.
want the Varix one.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
already
I
told
got
you,
it.
if they make a Mithrax, it's game over for me.
Oh yeah. No, that's an instant. I
Mithrax
think I'm
is
gonna. I think I'm skipping the Shax one though, because I already have the original like posable Shax.
that was really good quality for the price.
Yeah.
Him and the Saladin, those were both good quality.
Yeah.
It's
I have them
McFarlane,
both.
so
Yeah, I have them both. The only thing is I took the cape off of Saladin because it's like sandpaper material. It's kind of gross.
oh, gross.
Yeah. So
Ew.
like, yeah. So I have his head in a cape in a drawer, and I have his helmet on.
I'm just to the point where, like, I'm clearly running out of room for stuff living in an apartment at the very least.
Hmm.
I'm running out of room, and I want to be a little bit more selective with what I buy.
Right.
I'll keep doing like the pins, because I'm gonna get a big board and put them all on there. I'm gonna get a
Yeah.
nice like design board. I might even buy the one out of the shop, frankly. Um,
The octa or the hexagon
mhm.
looking one. Yeah.
Yeah. I might get that to put some of my favorite ones on and leave a few in clamshell cases, like just pack away the rest. But even those, like, I'm starting to get more selective now that they're doing the raid and dungeon pins, which I like way more.
Right. Those are cool. I was looking at them the other day because like I don't know, I was in the store and by the way, had a real scare with the store because apparently like some people's accounts were messed up
Oh shit.
and like I had had something in there and it wasn't showing up and I was like help. And they're like, oh, it should be fixed now, it's fine, but it still didn't show up. It's still not showing up that I have ever ordered anything from the Bungie store.
Yeah, that's concerning.
So but I mean, I haven't, nothing's gone missing. So that's good. But yeah, it was like I can't track anything. I can't see what I've ordered in the past. This is scary.
Yeah, that's not great when some of us have like a couple $100 tied up in them.
Right.
I'm to the point where, like, I'm glad I bought the Gallarhorn when I did, but looking back on it, like, if I could go back and do that purchase again, I probably wouldn't have done it. Not that it's not a good quality; it's actually really good quality. It's just that was a lot of money for something that, like, I don't know if I want to like mount in an apartment.
Yeah. Yeah, but if
Um,
you ever get a house or like somewhere bigger to live, that's gonna look cool somewhere,
I
you
know
know?
it is. It's just like I'm also to the point where, like, I'm running out of space for like big cool shit.
Yeah.
Like, my needler lives up on top of a shelf because mercifully it came with a stand. I really
Right.
wish the Gallarhorn would have come with a stand. I would 100% have that up right now.
Yeah.
But like, I have a Titan shield on my wall. I have a couple I have three lightsabers already. Well, two of them are mine. One is my girlfriend's. She wants to
I
make one this year when she goes to Disneyland, and then I've already announced my plans to buy the dark saber, regardless of her plans.
yeah.
So
I really want the Titan shield, but it's expensive now.
I'm very happy that we bought it for $20 on clearance
Yeah,
when we did.
it's like it's like
If
10
I could
times
go
that
back
much.
in time, I would have bought. We didn't have the money, but I would have 100% borrowed money from somebody to buy the Gallarhorn, which was also on clearance at the same time.
Yeah.
That we also had no room for. I would have done that. I would have rather had the McFarlane Gallarhorn over the Nerf one, personally.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean that's cooler. I mean the
That
real one. I
sucker
mean,
was that sucker was fucking heavy.
well, yeah, but you know, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's a rocket launcher. What do you want? What do you want from it?
Corey, we have a little bit tonight on the docket for the TWAB.
Yeah, we do. We should probably do the
We
TWAB.
should probably do the TWAB. Oh, cool. When I rebooted my computer, like half my windows disappeared.
Shocker.
Oh, so excited. Yeah, I tend to open up like lore corners and stuff in an incognito tab, and they disappeared on me. So I'm gonna have to search for those here in just a moment while we're answering questions. I'll take a look for those, but not too much in the TWAB again this week. We probably got one more short week next week in terms of TWABs, and then we should start getting a lot of information about the new season. Probably nothing about the dungeon, but definitely stuff about the new season coming up. I'm very excited for how good this Arbalest ornament looks.
It's pretty cool.
This
I gotta
looks
say.
fucking awesome. This looks very dope.
Yeah, it's pretty
It
cool.
looks better than I thought it was going to, frankly, even based off of the concept art that we have or had. With the launch of Season 21, the Arbalest ornament is being released, the first ever community voted weapon ornament. And
Yeah,
Stellar
this
State
was like a
Logic
year ago,
designed
wasn't
this.
it?
We voted on this a long time ago.
Yeah, like a year ago, right? That was.
I mean,
like
they
the
told
thing.
us it was going to take several seasons, so they expected it would be midway through this year before we saw it.
Yeah.
But and by the way, you're gonna have to pay silver for this bad boy. It will be available in the Eververse store. But I'm happy to support something like this because I think it's really cool that it was designed by the community.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this new one though. So we have another exotic ornament to vote on. Oh boy. So same deal as last time. They've already chosen an artist. They're ready to go. So the chosen weapons you can pick from Izanagi's Burden, Witherhoard, and Thunderlord, each of which have like 4 ornaments already, easily.
Hmm.
I mean, Witherhoard's going to win, just straight up.
Oh yeah.
And it's a shame because I think Witherhoard and Izzy's both have such cool ornaments already. I think they both have multiple, and I mean, like Witherhoard already looks cool just in the base version, and then if you got so they had the white and gold one, I believe it was. If you got to rank 100 during Season of Arrivals, they have the Hive Rune one, which by my money, is one of the coolest ornaments in the whole game. I think they've had a red one in the past, and they've had another one. There's like 4 or 5 ornaments for this gun, and I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Thunderlord had 2 when it first came out, and then they did a third one down the line. And Izzy's has had, I think Izanagi's also had a couple when it first came out, and then it had that awesome one that makes it look like the fucking Buster Sword last year. It's just like
Oh
a
yeah,
big
I
ass
remember.
sword in your hand. Yeah.
Yeah. That was cool.
So, I mean, so I'm gonna commit heresy here. I personally will not be voting for Witherhoard. I'm fucking tired of Witherhoard ornaments showing up in the shop. I get why it's on here. It's because it's like the most used exotic and it's pretty essential to endgame builds.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take a page out of our sometimes he's our favorite Titan, A1 Johnny's book, and I'm gonna be voting for Thunderlord personally. I know it's a lost cause. I know Witherhoard's gonna win, but I'm voting for the underdog here.
I mean, I would vote for Thunderlord. I like Thunderlord.
I'll vote for
I'm
Thunderlord.
not
I mean,
gonna vote.
Thunderlord has a place in the meta again. Thunderlord's great.
Yeah. I mean,
Thunderlord's great. I like Izzy's. I think both of those would be infinitely more fun choices than Witherhoard. But from a design perspective, there's few exotics in Destiny that I imagine are more fun to design for than Arbalest or Witherhoard.
yeah.
So everybody enjoy your Witherhoard voting. That'll go live starting on April 20th. The community will vote through email. So tonight, we're recording tonight. The email should be going out sometime tonight.
Yeah.
Community will vote through email on which exotic to pick. Community artist creates 3 ornament concepts for the winning exotic weapon. Community votes on the favorite concept. The winning ornament goes into production and is released in game. We want to make sure to give our artists plenty of time to work, so it will take some time until we reveal them and the concepts. Once the community has picked the concept and it's ready to go into production, it's going to take a bit of time to get through the content pipeline. So we want to set the expectation up front that you should not expect to see the ornament in Destiny 2 until the final shape. We know that might seem like a long way out, but we're glad you get to be along for the ride on this one and be an important part of the process. I added in the word "be." It was definitely missing from that sentence. So I think that's actually, again, I'll always support this shit. I really wish that they would take some exotic armor, Starfire, that do not have ornaments and let us vote on those as well.
Yeah,
I think that would be a cool idea, like down the line for us to get the vote on.
Yeah, I do too. That'd be cool.
Like, so here's my only thing when it comes to voting for stuff like this. So we vote for the Festival of the Lost Armor. We voted for like 3 years in a row now, and that's fine. That's fine and dandy. This is the second year in a row we voted for exotic weapons. Can we please, Bungie, I'm imploring you, please let us be part of choosing the next Guardian Games armor set, because I'm tired of getting fucking tracksuits.
Also, is the Titan, like, do they have like a deal with Beats by Dre or something? Because
I don't know, but if that
Titan's
helmet, so I can't tell because we haven't seen high res images of these, obviously. If that is, I'm now of 2 mindsets. One, if it is headphones, I'm buying that. I'm buying the armor set just for the helmet, because you can't buy individual armor pieces for this fucking event for some reason. I'm buying it. I'm never taking that helmet off on my Titan ever. And if it's not headphones, I'll be infinitely disappointed in Bungie's choices, because I think that actually would have been really cool if like each of the classes had like a different type of like audio thing.
Yeah,
That actually would be like kind of cool. Like, I don't know, Titans, like you can have them wearing them like that. Maybe like Warlocks are wearing them over their head, and like Hunters, I think it would be cool if you had them like around their neck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's things you could have done. Like, just no, the Warlocks would be assholes. They'd have like AirPods in their ears. It'd be so minuscule you wouldn't be able to notice. Or it'd be like the iPod is like slapped. It's their what do you call it? Their bond.
Right.
It's a fucking a click wheel iPod on their arm.
And like one of those arm pouches that people used to wear,
like that runners use. Yeah, that would be hilarious. That was just for you. Nerd Generalist might be the only one old enough here to remember. So be sure to harass him about that and get him a bag of Werther's originals.
How old is Nerd Journalist?
I don't know, but it's fun to tease him about how old he sounds. Listen,
Fair.
man, my guy can field an NBA starting 5 with a 6th man. Okay,
that's fair.
So it's all good.
That's fair.
Can we talk about like just real quick? Well, the TWAB literally has nothing in it.
We can talk about whatever, Josh. This is a dead week. You know
how silly it was that they had to come out because people noticed all these things that were like fucking broken in the game after the patch went live, and then Bungie had to come out the next day and be like, yo, so we forgot to put these in the patch notes. It's like, how did you forget? I kid you not, a dozen items in the patch notes. And these are like these are significant issues.
Yeah.
First, right off the bat, fixed an issue where the terminal overload chest could be looted multiple times for rewards and crafted weapon progress. Crafting progress now comes from the key chest and not the base chest. What the fuck? Who was it hurting? Who was it hurting to let us level up some of this shit quicker? Nobody.
Awesome.
Absolutely nobody. I promise you it was hurting nobody, Corey.
I know it wasn't. It was quite helping, actually.
Unfucking real. Grenade kickstart will no longer activate when using a grapple point. Unreal. Reduced super gains from ashes to assets by 50% when getting a grapple melee kill after using a grapple point. They basically killed grapple builds for Strand Hunters. Those are gone. It's gone now. Congratulations. Like, Strand Hunter just, like, I'm not going to say it sucks dick, but it's pretty close. It's like, it's probably pretty easily the most underwhelming subclass for hunters right now after this
Yeah.
change. It was like we were finally in a place where I think like most hunter elements felt good. Like you could at least make a build out of each element. Now it's like, why do I want to use Strand? You guys just nuked like the funnest part of using Strand Hunter when we have the multiple charges of grapple.
Right.
That's really frustrating. Oh my fucking god. It's unbelievable. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. The only things that are great now, that are good now, fall damage is now non-lethal to players. Previously, only collision damage was non-lethal, and heavy weapons will more consistently gain increased ammo capacity from the multiple reserves mods. But listen to this shit. This does not apply to rocket launchers, grenade launchers, heavy glaives, Leviathan's Breath, or 1,000 Voices. So you could have just said only LMGs. Yeah. Only LMGs. This is
I mean,
unbelievable.
who was using it that much to like, I don't know.
I was.
Ugh.
I 100% was. I was enjoying having like 9 rockets in the chamber, Corey.
I mean, I was too. I'm just saying, like,
I also have been enjoying having like 600 rounds on what's it called? Oh, my fucking Void heavy machine gun that I've used so much since it came out. Um, retrofit escapade. I've been like, that's basically my primary weapon right now, running around the game, because I come out of a battleground having made 150 fucking orbs in 10 minutes. It's great.
yeah, that'll do
I'm
it.
gonna have a real problem when free volatile is not a thing anymore. I'm gonna have a really big problem.
Sorry,
But yeah,
Josh.
this has been this was really frustrating to see like an oops we did it again moment. It's like, god damn it, guys, I thought we had this conversation more than once. You gotta tell us everything in the patch notes. You can't, like, forgetting one thing is that's fine. You forgot to put something in there, cool. How did you forget 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? Yeah, 12. There might even be 13 here. There's a fucking baker's dozen, Corey.
A baker's dozen.
A baker's dozen. That was for you, Greg Miller. I know you listen. Big fan of the show. And then note issues. Everything fucking broke. Everything fucking broke, Corey.
Yeah, sure did. Broken.
Unbelievable. Volatile flow does not activate consistently.
Why not? Why not, Josh?
No idea. Insight Terminus Strike can produce bird errors when fighting the boss and capturing plates. Audio is distorted in certain activities. Check the audio issue workaround section above for guidance. That's never a good sign. The Guardian Game statue has the incorrect class displayed as a winner for the 2022 event. Some Guardian Games triumphs are activating earlier than intended, and as a result, the title tab now flashes as though something is unlocked. You'll be able to claim these when Guardian Games unlocks in 2 weeks. Zone Control does not display an increased Crucible rank modifier. Dying in the Hypernet Current Strikes boss room can sometimes get a player's ghost stuck in the floor. Quitter penalties were erroneously enabled with 7.0.5.0 launch for completing matches. Rewards are delayed upon completing certain raid encounters, with some rewards going straight to the postmaster. Players are reporting that Radiant no longer stuns barrier champs. Fire space may no longer be generated from grenade kills. What the fuck? What the fuck, guys? That's all I have to say. What the fuck? Just like literally everything broke, and I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to this. This is actually crazy how much broke.
Yeah.
But I will say, auto rifles feel amazing in this game right now. After the patch on Tuesday, Rufus's Fury went from being like, damn, this is a really good weapon, to holy shit, this is meta, and they're gonna nerf this gun next season.
Yeah.
Like, levels of good. This is like Chroma Rush's heyday, but worse. Because if you have it with Hatchling, you're spawning little demon babies everywhere. It's great.
Demon babies.
Little demon babies.
Yeah.
It's fun though. I really have been enjoying. I've been enjoying that gun since the raid came out, and just happy that it's even better than it was. So,
speaking of demon babies, Diablo comes out soon.
Diablo does come. We actually have a Diablo related question tonight,
Ooh.
which we're actually going to read that right now. We're going to go into questions, Corey,
All right, question time.
because God knows there isn't much to talk about in Destiny. I don't really like have much to talk about with the mission that happened. It's just like okay, like it happened.
But it wasn't really anything though. I mean,
It was fine. It was a nice little bow on the season, I think, but I
yeah,
also think that just like leaving it where it was with Amanda's death was a really good place to leave the storyline, I think.
yeah,
Um with Zavala at her grave, I think that was a good place to leave it, but
yeah.
alas, I'm not the one in charge of writing this game. So Nadiki suggested that we do a Tower Casuals clan favorite Mario slash Zelda game poll. And I think Corey and I will fire one of those up in the Discord, and we'll read
Yeah.
it the week that Tears of the Kingdom comes out. But I told Corey before we started the show because I wanted to give him a little bit of warning. I wanted what do you want? Do you want top 3 or top 5?
I mean, I could do top 5 of both.
Let's do top 5. Let's do top 5 of both.
Okay, so where are we going first? Are we?
Let's get Mario out of the way first. I think we'd both rather talk about Zelda. Let's get Mario out of the way first.
Yeah. Okay. So for me, top 5. Okay. Mario 3, number 1.
Okay.
Mario 2, number 2. Mario 3D World, number 3. Super Mario World, number 4, and Mario 64, number 5.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Ooh, this is actually harder than I thought it was gonna be. I'm gonna go Super Mario World 2 as my number 5.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Super Mario Brothers number 3 as my number 4.
To be clear, when I said Mario 2, I mean like the Mario 2 USA, not Lost Levels. Just want to throw that out.
I'm going the one where you ride fucking Yoshi and you have a cape.
Mario World?
Yes. Mario World 2.
Yeah. Wait, Mario World 2?
I'm confused. I have not played Super Nintendo in a hot minute. Fine, I'm going Super Mario
World. Super Mario World 2 is Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, no, I'm going Super Mario World then.
Yeah, I was talking about NES Mario 2.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking that. No. I want Super Mario World. Give me Super Mario World, Corey.
I got you. You can have Mario World.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna change things up a little bit. I'm gonna get a little spicy. I'm gonna go Mario Odyssey at number 3.
Ooh,
spicy. I really liked Odyssey. I thought Odyssey had the biggest change to like the core 3D gameplay since 64, and I really loved it. Having to use the hat to navigate the levels was both fun and infuriating.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Mario 64 at number 2 because I mean, yeah, it's just so great. Have you seen the Mario movie, Corey?
I have not.
Okay, I won't spoil a cameo in it, but I got very.
I mean,
excited.
I know all the cameos. It's
when King Bob-omb showed up, I
Yeah.
shrieked. Chelsea was like, "What is wrong with you?" I was like, "It's King Bob-omb, dude. It's the first boss you beat in Mario 64. It's fucking great."
What do you mean?
Yeah, no, I really loved that. Him and King Boo both being there was great.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go. Well, so yeah, we're just keeping this to like core Mario games. We're not like branching out. So we were branching out. Mario fucking Tennis is on this list. The OG Mario Tennis is on this list.
we're doing platformers only.
My number 1. This is not me necessarily saying this is the best one, but this is my personal favorite. Super Mario Sunshine, man. Mario Sunshine came out at a very important time in my life. I was not 10. I was 10 when that game came out. And I liked 64, but by the time I got a Nintendo 64 in like 1999, 2000-ish. So that game already felt a little dated to me personally. I know that's a wacky sentence to say. That felt a little dated even when I was a kid, though.
Well, it's the fucking
N64 controller. It's the fucking 64 controller.
Yeah. Well, this might come up in our hot takes, but that's like the Final Fantasy 7 effect for me, right? Where like I didn't play Final Fantasy 7 until after I played 8, 9, and 10. So like it also felt pretty dated.
I played 7 after I played 12. So yeah, it felt really dated for me. let's go top 5 Zeldas now.
All right. Here we go, Josh. Are you ready?
I'm ready for some of these scorching hot takes.
Scorching hot takes. All right. So number 5, Majora's Mask. Okay. Number 5, Majora's Mask. Josh is choking. Oh no. I killed Josh with my hot take. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. You're on mute, Josh.
So I took a swig of beer right as I needed to sneeze. Beer just came out my fucking nose.
That's not the best time to take a swig of anything.
Well, I didn't know I needed to
It'll be
sneeze
fine.
when I took a drink, and as soon as I had the drink in and I started nodding my head, that triggered it. Holy shit! I literally almost spit beer out all over my computer. That's why I almost killed myself, was so I didn't get beer all over my laptop that already doesn't like me. Holy shit! My eyes and my nose are burning. All right, so Corey has Majora's Mask at number 5.
Number 5, Majora's Mask. Number 4,
That's
Link's
what I get for
Awakening.
drinking alcohol when we're talking about Nintendo games.
Number 4 is Link's Awakening.
Okay.
Number 3 is
are you going with classic Link's Awakening or the one on the Switch?
I mean, it's more
Because
like
I think the one on the
4A,
Switch is
4B.
different enough to be its own game.
I mean, it's really not that different. It looks different. It's still get lost in the forest. Josh is like dying over here.
Oh, holy shit! I'm still feeling it like in my fucking nose.
But I'll put it this way: I guess if I was to replay Link's Awakening ever, it's going to be the Switch version.
Yeah.
So I guess you can throw that one.
Also,
in there.
I just don't like getting the Game Boy out at this point.
Yeah, I mean it's on the Switch online service now, so
that would require me to use the Switch Online service, though.
It's fair.
Which is just ass cheeks.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number 3, Corey?
Let's see. My number 3 is Wind Waker.
Fair. Yep.
Number 2 is Twilight Princess, and number 1 is Breath of the Wild.
God, I fucking hate Twilight Princess.
I love Twilight Princess. It was my dude. Oh, it's so good.
So if I gotta go my top 5, and this is really hard. Like, y'all know me for loving Halo and Destiny so much, but The Legend of Zelda really was my first gaming love.
You're saying is your number 1 is the Link's crossbow training.
No, I did try. I did want to buy that, and my parents wouldn't let me get it because of the Super Scope that came with it.
Yeah.
For the Wii, because my parents are actually gigantic pacifists and don't believe in guns at all. And they're like, yeah, you're not getting anything that looks like you're shooting something at the TV. So I never got it, and that's part of the reason why I sold my Wii, because I was so mad about it. I was like, all my friends have it, and then I realized nothing was good with it. So that I literally just wanted it for Link's crossbow training. So number 5, I gotta go Minish Cap. I love Minish Cap. I love the 2D Zeldas like way more than any person probably should. I would really kill for another 2D Zelda on the Switch right now. Was really hoping we would get one between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm kind of shocked we didn't.
I'm very shocked that we didn't. I'm shocked they didn't find a way to bring Link Between Worlds over. Excuse me. Number 4, I'm going to go Link to the Past. I love Link to the Past. It's the best of the pre-Ocarina of Time Zeldas, by far, like far and away. And I got to play it on Game Boy Advance for the first time, so I fucking love that game. I'll buy it every single time they re-release that game. I'll buy it. Number 3, I'm gonna go Ocarina of Time here. It's really cliche, but it's a classic. It's harder to find a game that defines the '90s more than Ocarina of Time did. Most of your open world games are thanks to that.
It's true.
Number 2, again, should come as a shock to absolutely nobody who knows me. Wind Waker. When I talk about Zelda being my first love, I loved Pokemon when I was little. I still remember getting Red when I was like 6 or 7. on my little black and white Game Boy. It was right before the anime came
Mm.
out. But it wasn't until 2003 where I was like, it went from like, hey, I kind of like playing games to holy shit, I kind of want to like do this forever. And here we are, literally 20 years later. It's 20 years now since that game came out, and I'm still talking about fucking Wind Waker.
Stuck on 2 consoles nobody owned. What a shame.
I still have my OG launch day copy in a box in my closet with my GameCube. I have my
So do I.
GameCube solely for that, Metroid Prime, and Smash Brothers Melee, and Rogue Leader. I still have Rogue Leader too. And
Great
then my
games.
number one, my number one is it's Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is not only the best Zelda game, it's the best game ever made. Period.
It's an amazing game. I'm really excited for Tears of the Kingdom in a couple weeks, Josh.
I'm very excited for Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm hoping that somebody decides that it's time for me to finally grace a Nintendo podcast and talk about The Legend of Zelda after all this time. Hint, hint.
Well, Josh, you might get your chance.
I think I should. I think that I have proven my Zelda credentials, even if I have no Nintendo ones anymore. I think I have Zelda and Metroid credentials.
That's fair.
Next question comes to us from Tiger Jesus. Do you think you and your best fire team could get world's first in any raid if you could go back in time?
No, but I will say, and especially for Destiny 1, we figured out King's Fall relatively quickly. Now, granted, not world's first quick by any stretch, but we figured it out in like over the weekend, and that was with people who didn't take off work to do it, and had jobs and whatever.
Right.
But I actually think maybe we could have for Wrath of the Machine. The first time we did it, we got to the final boss room within like 6 hours. And that was opening weekend.
I would say the only one that I could conceivably see the best fire team I've ever done it with possibly make it would have been Root of Nightmares. I would say it's probably the closest that I would have gotten, because we got to the third encounter in roughly 2 hours, if not a little bit less. We got so hung up on the third encounter because, as we've come to find out now, we were doing what is now the challenge for that encounter on day one, because we overthought it and were completely convinced that that's how we had to do it. So we spent hours fucking up on that encounter and getting frustrated. If we had known what we know now, I think we could. I don't know if we get world's first, but I think we finish probably in like the top, I don't know, 300-400 teams. We would have made it to Nezarec with a lot of other people. I'll put it that way. And then, I mean, again, if we know what we know now in Nezarec, I would say, again, we weren't on a world's first pace, but we probably could have done it. We did the first encounter on like the third or fourth try. The second encounter, we just kept getting hung up on that second platform. And then, you guys know about my woes in the jumping puzzle. So I was hasty to say no, but I would say we could have done like really, really fucking good.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I feel like the people I used to play with, we could have been close if we like were on our quote unquote regular Destiny training regimen from back then. Like, I mean,
fair.
You talk about how you grind now. That's how we were grinding plus and taking King up through like halfway through Wrath of the Machine, like that last year, right? We had King's Fall down to like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Because we were just so in sync with each other and knew exactly what we were doing, right? And we were doing Wrath of the Machine, and like I think the fastest we did Wrath of the Machine was like 39 minutes or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Granted, that's a small raid, but still.
Small raid.
Yeah.
Our next question comes to us from my screen just went off. From Ronnie. Ronnie's got a couple questions tonight. He starts off going, I'm really impressed with how the Adept raid weapon upgrade system works. Do you think it will be standard going forward and not retroactive, or will they add in older raid Adepts as we progress this year? I think it's I think this is the beginning of what the standard is. I still don't think it's quite where they want it to be, but I think it's the solution you get right now. I personally need to go get an Adept weapon out of Root of Nightmares to play with the system myself. I still think it's a little silly. You have to unlock the pattern before you can do anything, though. I think that's a little silly.
Yeah.
I think a red border Adept should give you like 2 or 3 times the progress, personally, if you extract that pattern, because it's that much more challenging to get. Especially if you get it out of the challenge, it's that much more difficult to get. I think that older raid Adepts, so if you think about other raids that have Adepts, it's Vault of Glass, King's Fall, and Vow of the Disciple. I do think that they're going to bring it to those 3 as well. And there's been a lot of talk about another raid getting a revamp this year. I think Bungie themselves may have even said it, that we're getting another raid with, I think it was in the state of the game that another raid will get an older one. If I had to guess, whenever they rework either Garden or Last Wish, they will probably add Adept into that also. That would require them, I don't know, because they already have the challenge already rotates, so they would just have to tie it to that. I could see them doing that, but that may be too much to ask when they're already gonna have to do new perk pools for those guns. I would say it's a virtual guarantee that you'll get this in at least Vow of the Disciple and King's Fall, though, within the next 12 to 18 months. And then will they do this to regular raid weapons we can craft later on? TBD. I think that the raids would have to be a lot more challenging rather than the gimme raid that is Root of Nightmares. Because I think right now it's just way too easy to go in and pound out that or a Deepstone Crypt or something like that. Like, I think it's too easy to go in there and be able to do that. I don't know if they're going to give us that much freedom on non-Adept weapons. I had something that's probably better suited to keep on Adept, or even like if they introduced Adept weapons to dungeons, I think it would be like a good system for those. They aren't going to let you craft Nightfall weapons, but if you could just do it on those 2 things, on the pinnacle PvE experience, I think that would be something worth doing.
Yeah.
Corey, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
No, I haven't been chasing this stuff, so I don't really have a lot of opinions on it.
That's fair. Ronnie also asks, what is the last subclass power going to be, and what color will it be? I don't know how to phrase this, but I think it's going to be the darkness powers that we see Nezarec and Rolk use.
It's going to be pink.
I think it's going to be gold. I think a gold and black would be kind of because if you look at the darkness subclasses of Stasis and Strand, it's blue and black and green and black. I think that they could probably do gold here. Make it like, I don't know if you would call it like Ascendant or something. I think that would be really silly, but something along those lines I think would be good. I could see Titans being able to toss down like those little instead of it being a shield, they pop out one of those things that gives like everybody around them the extra health, so it kind of continues like that over shield type thing. But if somebody runs in and shotguns it, it's gone. I could see us getting an ability like that. Warlocks could shoot a beam out that's like the overpowering darkness that blinds the enemy. I would probably break PvP if I came out with my full idea, but I think something along those lines is definitely something that we're gonna play with in Final Shape.
Yeah, I could definitely see something like that. I could also, I don't know. I still think the finals. Did they ever say we're getting another subclass, or are they just?
We don't know yet. We won't know until August. So
yeah. If we did do a final one, I feel like it would almost kind of look like the way that, like the reason why I say pink is because like I look at when the Traveler was attacking the pyramid ships, right, and you just see all this pink growth, and then like you go into the raid and it's all these pinks and purples and
Hmm.
that kind of thing. And then you look at you just kind of, I feel like it would be something along those lines. Now, granted, if you're a Titan, it's probably just going to be another Hulk smash. But man, I don't know. I feel like there's different things you could do with it, but I feel like all the great ideas have been at least things that I would have said are taken, like like scatter grenades or tying people up, like with Strand, or I would almost say like you could warp people if there's some sort of
I think
warp.
I really do think it's going to be a sabotage class,
Yeah.
like the full power of the darkness. Like we take it
Hmm.
from the witness when he dies or something, like because we're the one that
Yeah.
walks
What if
canonically
it?
down the line.
What if it's white? Like, what if it's a white subclass, like the
And it could be.
skull smoke that's coming out of his head, right? Like, what if that's something we wield? That weird
I think that's
stuff.
part of his race. I think that's part of like I think the Traveler fucked him up in the past, and that was something that was done to him.
You think those are all? You think that's his entire race coming out of his head, or you think that's just something
No,
that
I think
happens
he
to
just
that
got
race?
fucked up by the Traveler or by the Nine or whatever.
Hmm.
That's I mean that's one of the mysteries that we're going to be solving over the next year. Probably is why does
You think
Megamind look this way?
you think that's like his personalities from other timelines? I also thought
It
about
could
that
be.
too.
I
Yeah.
mean, it very well could be. Because as far as we
So
know, he's not aware that Elsie can travel the timelines. So,
yeah,
well, not travel them, but is stuck in a time loop.
yeah. I also, Josh, stick with me.
Stick
This
with
is
you.
a huge stretch, okay? But I was also thinking, and I know this isn't true, but stick with me. So you look at a ghost, right? You look at this. You look at our little buddies here, these little
Yeah,
ghosts, right? What if the traveler is just the eye of a ghost, right? And we kind of already saw them make the shape of Sagira, right?
yeah,
What if the pyramid ships are just the other parts of the ghost, and the traveler is just the middle of the ghost,
that would be so annoying. I would
and
hate
that's the
that
final
so
shape,
much. I
and
would
that's the
fucking
final
hate that.
shape?
I mean, it could be. I would fucking hate that. I don't know how you would even begin to rectify that storyline, but yeah.
Just throwing that out there because they're all pyramids, and they could
I mean,
all kind
fair.
of
It's
easily
fair.
be pieced together like this, Something I was thinking about the other day when I couldn't fall asleep.
Well, Corey, we got a fair mix of Destiny and non-Destiny related questions here this week.
I
So
know
our
we do.
first, it's funny. Everybody decided to give us Star Wars questions this week after last week. Ronnie
Of course they
asks us
did.
to rank the Star Wars Disney Plus series.
Oh God.
So I'm gonna say straight up, we're ignoring the animated ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched any of the animated
Yeah, I
ones,
think
to be
that's too
fair.
hard to rank, and like I very clearly have not watched past like the first half of the first season of Bad Batch.
I watched the first episode of Bad Batch. I'm like, I'm not finishing this.
I did love the anime anthology, but I mean it's just that it's non-canonical, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
Visions was awesome. But with that aside, so we're gonna rank we're not ranking individual seasons. It's just a straight up live action shit. So
So what do we have? We have Andor, the Mandalorian,
Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Obi-Wan, and is that I feel like there's what are we missing? There's one
Book
more,
of Boba
right?
Fett, the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of feel like that's a Mandalorian.
I think those are the four. Those are the four because everything else is animated. So
Yeah. I think there's a clear ranking here. I think Book of Boba Fett's the worst. And then Obi-Wan is third. And then the Mandalorian and then Andor. That would be my ranking.
um yeah, I definitely agree with the bottom two. Book of Boba Fett's definitely the worst. Obi-Wan Kenobi is higher, but not by much. Like
Mhm.
it's actually like really minuscule. Like the fight with Vader pretty much saves that series for me.
Yeah.
The
I
final fight with
see
Vader, by the way.
I I understand that show is not good, but I liked it anyway.
I mean, I think that's kind of where most of us were. Like Book of Boba Fett is just straight up bad, with the exception of the episodes that Mando is in. It gave me plenty of moments I really loved, like Boba riding the Rancor in was awesome.
Yeah.
Him and Mando fighting back to back was awesome. Getting the sheriff back was cool. Like kind of doing a whole little Dirty Dozen mission. The random aside to like Luke Skywalker training Grogu was really weird, and like Ahsoka being there was even weirder.
Yeah. And had
Um,
no like impact on the story really going forward because Grogu just
Yeah.
spoilers, I guess, if you haven't watched this third season of The Mandalorian, but it goes back clearly.
Yeah.
Um,
Surprise. Much wow. Big
Shocking.
if true.
Yeah.
I would definitely say, so for me, I like Mando more because it's more fun, but Andor is clearly the better made show, like far and away.
Yeah.
I think it's actually like alarming how good Andor's production value is compared
Andor's so
to
good, man.
literally everything else. Well, this is what happens when you hire an actual fucking filmmaker to make your series. Like, listen, I love Jon Favreau, but when's the last time Jon Favreau directed something that was not a CG fest? It was fucking Swingers in 1996, okay?
Still a
That's the
fun
last
movie.
time he did something that wasn't filled with CG.
I mean,
Swingers.
you're not wrong.
That's the last
You're,
time he did it.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
Almost 30 years ago.
here,
Listen, I love Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, but holy shit, there is a stark contrast between them and Tony Gilroy.
yeah. Also, like Rogue One is clearly the best movie that since Disney took over.
Disagree, but I understand where you're going.
And I mean,
It's the second
coming off
best for
that,
me. So.
coming off that is with Andor is
Well,
having
I mean,
the same
so,
team
it's funny.
involved,
He's
right?
not
So
credited as the director for Rogue One, but he absolutely saved that fucking movie.
yeah.
He 100% saved it. I'm really happy we're getting another season of Andor. I saw the leaked trailer for Star Wars Celebration and got very excited.
Yeah, I kind of am worried that I mean, one season, the first season took place over a year, and this one's supposed to take place over 4. That kind of worries me a
So
little bit.
originally,
But
Andor was supposed to be. We're gonna go deep on some Star Wars shit here. Andor was supposed to
here
be
we
5
go.
seasons originally in its original
Yeah,
pitch, and I'm actually really happy they're not doing that because it would take like a whole decade to do this, and I don't think Tony Gilroy and well, I mean Diego Luna isn't doing shit, so maybe he'd enjoy doing it. But
I think it could have been 3.
I think it could have been 3, but I also think like this show is probably really expensive to make. And they clearly are doing all like not all, but a lot of the filming on location and taking like a lot of care. I mean, the second season is coming out in August 2024, and we already had a 2-minute trailer for it at Celebration. Like
Yeah,
they're taking a lot of care with this series, and it's a character that I think like most of us didn't give a shit about. Let's be
yeah.
totally honest. I
No,
heard that Cassian Andor had a show. It took me months to get around to finishing this.
yeah. I was just like, I don't. I mean, when I watched Rogue One, he was like, okay, he's cool, but like, you clearly want K2SO is the
Yeah, you
character in
100.
that
And that's
relationship.
the big thing. Like, I really was hoping that season 1 would end on him meeting K2
Yeah,
or reprogramming him. I'm gonna be really disappointed because I mean, when the show was pitched, like I was at Celebration the year that the news came out, and Alan Tudyk was like, "Hell yeah, we're doing this," and I was like, "Yes,
mhm,
yes." And then nothing. They've made it really clear that like COVID was a big part of their decision to like scale back on this
yeah,
series.
yeah,
Um, and that's fine. I think they were also like a little bit worried, like, are people really going to be invested for 5 seasons? And after how good season 1 was, yeah, I would have watched a few seasons of this. But I'll take what I'd rather have 24 really good episodes than like 24 and then like it kind of like tapers off towards the end. Like
yeah,
it's gonna have this after season 2 is over. It's gonna have the same amount of episodes as Mando currently has at the end of season 3. So I think
yeah,
that's a fine place to end a story. I'd rather have too little than too much.
yeah. So let's talk about the Mandalorian for a second because I finished the third season
Yeah.
today.
Spoilers if you have not watched the season 3 finale.
Yeah, I'm like I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something with the Mandalorian because I'm not as high on the Mandalorian overall
Um
as other
I think
people, I guess.
a lot of people have felt that this season, and I don't necessarily
Well,
disagree with
I
you.
mean I feel that overall like since the
Yeah.
beginning.
Oh, well, see, like I fucking love it. I liked that it was different and like it didn't I liked that it didn't have anything to do with the Force, and then it just kind of became like, and I'm glad that like this season seemed to kind of get back to the Mandalorian of it all, and not like Grogu's Jedi adventures.
Yeah,
Um, but I'd be lying if I said that like, yes, I understand the shortcomings of this season and of the finale in particular, but goddamn, if I wasn't like jumping out of my seat because it was fan servicey, but to an absolutely absurdly delightful degree. Like I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. I had fun. It reminded me why I love this show so much, because so
Yeah.
much of it is Din Djarin and Grogu.
Yeah.
That's
I,
why I love it. Like, so I obviously we're going spoilers here. The Bo-Katan plot, yeah, that was really bad. That and Gideon is rough, but every scene that was Din Djarin and Grogu was outstanding.
mhm.
It just them teaming up to take down the Praetorian Guards was just vintage. This is why I fucking love this show.
Yeah.
This is why I love it. The him bringing him into the Mandalorian clan and saying this is my apprentice and I'll adopt him as my own. Like
Mhm.
it's something that we've known since season 1, but like him just saying it makes it, and like his full name being Din Grogu now.
Mhm.
The shot of him, this is what I really want to talk about. There's two shots in particular in the finale. One is all the clone tanks that you see of Moff Gideon that is clearly
Mhm.
leaning up to the cloning crisis, and that's going to be part of Heir to the Empire. He's not gone. He's 100% not gone.
Oh no.
There's no way. There's no way. You don't cast
Right.
Giancarlo Esposito and then say, "Oh yeah, we're just going to fucking kill him like this." And it was a dope scene where Grogu uses the Force to save Din and Bo. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So that's pretty clearly tying into Ahsoka, maybe into Skeleton Crew, and absolutely the movie.
Oh, I forgot that Skeleton Crew was coming.
And then,
Jude
man,
Law.
the scene that just has been living rent free in my mind is him and Grogu at their home on Navarro. And if they
That.
hadn't included the scene with him talking to the rebel pilots, I would have 100% said, "Damn, that's actually a pretty good place to end this show."
Yeah.
And I think that was planned as the end before Rangers of the New Republic was canceled. And they had to work those plot lines into these shows now.
Yeah.
Like season 3 of Mando was pretty clearly influenced by that,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, cool. If 4 is just Din Djarin and Sons exploring the galaxy, like an adventure of the week type show, kind of like how season 1 was, I'm here for it. Totally here for it. Tie it into Heir to the Empire at the end. Cool. We're good.
Yeah.
There's gonna be something that brings him back to it. But
Yeah.
I was like kind of okay with, even if that means like, because they've kind of hinted in some interviews this year that yeah, when we say the Mandalorian, it's not just Din Djarin anymore. Like, there's a reason why Bo-Katan was credited as a co-star this season, or it's like an
Yeah.
actual star. Why Katie Sackhoff was.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, Pedro Pascal's kind of not there right now either, to be
Well, and
fair.
that's why they didn't take his helmet off,
Yeah.
because somebody else actually plays him in the suit.
Yeah, the whole season it just says voiced by Pedro Pascal. It doesn't even say
Yeah,
played by, you know.
and that's
So
why they were able. That's why he was able to still do both. But if Last of Us is going to be a multi-year commitment, I could see them being like, okay, we won't retire the character, but we're going to pull back a little bit. We're going to pull back just a little bit. And
I mean, I could see that character being like a side character in other things moving forward too.
I mean,
You
he'll
know.
be a side character, but I do 100% because they've already said they're doing season 4. John Favreau
Yeah.
says he wants to keep doing adventures with these two. It doesn't feel old to him yet, but I think like there was a sense in his mind of wanting to get back to like an adventure of the week style thing,
Yeah.
rather than these overarching plots to retake Mandalore and the dark
Yeah.
saber and shit like that.
Well, the dark saber's gone now.
Yeah, the dark saber's fucking gone. Don't know that. I mean, and listen, I'm an old EU purist, so like good.
Yeah.
The dark saber was a fucking super weapon in the old EU that a Hut used. So yeah, that's just kind of like wrap up. I really love where the shows are going though. Big fan. I'm gonna watch Ahsoka. I'm hyped for Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew is literally Goonies in Star Wars. I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. I'm excited
Yeah.
for that. Acolyte looks awesome. That
Yeah.
show looks fucking rad.
Yeah. It's gonna be cool.
And I'm really just like on my hands and knees praying that Lando actually happens, because I've never needed something more than 6 episodes of Donald Glover hamming it up as Lando.
You think this is gonna be the sequel to Solo?
Maybe. I mean, there's no way you don't get Olive and Ehrenreich back for at least an episode in it. There's no way.
Yeah.
I could see him being in there. But I really do think that I think they'll end up doing the series because I'm pretty convinced that the original heroes are going to show up in whatever Heir to the Empire adaptation happens. However that looks down the line, I'm pretty sure that they recast Luke and Leia, and then they use Alden and Donald to be Han and Lando, respectfully. I'm like 99% certain. But Corey, we have other questions to move on to.
I know we could talk about Star Wars.
We could, but we have another Star Wars question.
Yeah.
Jiggly Panda asks
Jiggly
us,
Panda,
do you think we'll see Ezra in the Ahsoka show, or will he only be mentioned? He's 100% in this fucking show. He's absolutely in this show. You want to know? I know the actor who's playing him in live action literally confirmed that he's in the show.
Yeah. It's the guy. It's the guy that played Aladdin in the live action.
It's not
Aladdin movie.
It is not. It is not.
It is not.
Nope. He was fan cast and he was campaigning for the part. It is not him. And then Jiggly Panda also asks, what is your very early game of the year winner from the games we have seen or have been announced so far? I don't like deciding things that haven't been out yet. But if I had to go based on things that I've played, and I'm going to cheat a little here because I'm going to break my own rule. Because I played the beta so much, right now it's Diablo 4. And I think we got a big enough chunk of Diablo in the beta. It's the entire first act that I feel like I can confidently say that.
Yeah. I'm going to go right now. I mean...
Yeah, of games that have come out in the year of our Lord 2023.
I mean, honestly, it's probably Hogwarts Legacy right now.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Resident Evil 4 Remake.
I don't like scary games. So.
Oh, I thought you liked RE4. My bad. Okay.
I never played the original, really. I mean, I played a little bit of it, but I'm just like, I don't like these games.
Shame.
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 You can shame me all you want. Shame.
Game of the year watch the rest of the year, though, 100% for Corey and I. It's Tears of the Kingdom.
It's Zelda. Oh, yeah.
It's Zelda, and to a lesser extent for Corey, but 100% for me, Starfield and Baldur's Gate 3 are the other ones. Yeah. For anybody wondering why I don't have Spider-Man on that list, I'm very excited for Spider-Man, but I am a different level of hype for Zelda, Starfield, and Baldur's Gate. Spider-Man's going to be amazing. It's one of the core reasons why I bought a PS5 was for Spider-Man and God of War. I'm very excited for Spider-Man, but yeah.
I think in a dead period after like Summer Games Fest and Gamescom and stuff, I think we should revisit this kind of discussion. Yeah. Because I mean, the second half of the year, we don't know anything.
Well, yeah, most companies have been like really quiet because things keep getting delayed. But very curious to see. Final Fantasy 16 also.
Final Fantasy 16.
Very excited to see if the rumors about Persona are true, because there's word that Persona 3 remake. Yeah, well, we had the leaked video of it the other day, which looked that radio awesome. Too. That looked absurdly good. Really hoping that comes out this year at the very least, and that we get that Persona 6 announcement. We'll revisit this talk though, because we're going to have other slow parts of the year, so we might do like a quarterly check-in on this.
Yeah.
We got another Destiny question. From A1
Destiny,
Johnny.
You say.
Josh, where is Toland? Why haven't we seen our little wispy boy since Prophecy? I have no idea, man. I genuinely thought when I saw that we were going into the Ascendant Plane for Battlegrounds this season, I 100% thought that he would show up here. I'm very surprised that Toland isn't a part of it, but at the same time, I feel like we've almost moved past our need for Toland to be a character in the game. Eris has gotten past her trauma. And I'm not saying that he's tied to, I mean, he's part of Eris's fire team, and I'm not saying just because Eris is gone, Eris is kind of taking a back seat doesn't mean that Toland has to. I just think that, to always have him in Ascendant Plane stuff, it feels kind of weird, but at the same time, if you were going to bring him back into the narrative, next season is the time to do it. Season of the Deep is the time to do it, if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like it's going to deal with, the Hive and things like that. We know how obsessed he was with the Hive.
Right.
I think that would be the time to bring it. And Johnny also asks us, is there any chance of a Toland and Asher team up? Yes. We've seen that the Taken can infiltrate the Vex network.
Yeah.
And Tolan, or excuse me, Asher has basically become one with it. I do think that Asher is going to emerge from the network in some form. Maybe not in his actual form, but like in the form of a Vex, like a Vex mind, maybe. I think it would actually be really cool if him and Toland interacted that way.
Yeah.
But I think that would be like, that's like more of a fan wish than anything that would like logically be able to be squeezed into the next 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah. I could see it. I mean,
So I could see it happening, but I think it would be like, if it happens before the final shape, it would be more pure fan service than anything. I could see that being something that we deal with post final shape, maybe in the
uh
seasons after.
uh
I could see that happening, but I don't think it's like imminent.
Yeah.
Saint 14 asks us, since we already have Sussy Sundays, can we get Shot Saturdays? Every third episode of the month, we make Josh do a GM solo on the pod. Every curse is a drink. Every GFC is a shot. I need Discord to back me up on this. No, because I would die of alcohol poisoning 10 minutes in. So
Yeah,
that's not going
and
to happen.
it would take a lot of work to find another co-host that's half as good as Josh at
Fair.
explaining all this stuff. So I also am going to flag that as pass.
Knox asks us, he has a question for each of us. For Josh, what class will you be playing or maining in Diablo 4? And are there things you would like to see changed or added onto that class in the full release? I'll be playing a Necromancer on my first playthrough. I really fell in love with the like the Raising of the Dead and just like having a mini minion army running around. They've already changed one of my, not complaints, but one of my observations, which is just that those skeletons stayed alive way too easily. I think like on when you're playing solo, they should probably be upped a little, but when you're playing in a group, I think that nerfing the health is perfectly fine. Um, as for what can be added on, we only got to see up to level 25. I really want to like play with the more like complete suite of powers before I go like trying to change things. I really only got to play around. I played around with this, and I played around a little bit with Barbarian. Um, but right now, Necromancer feels it's OP, but it feels good. Like it's fun. It's that fantasy. It's that fantasy game fantasy that I want. And Corey Knox asks, "Do you have any more spicy hot takes on D2 or otherwise you'd like to share with us?"
Oh my gosh.
Give me a hot
I
take,
mean,
Corey.
what kind of hot take do you want, Josh?
Anything. Give me one. Give me a hot take.
Oh my gosh. I don't know without any context of like what we're going to talk about. Like
What's the most overrated Nintendo franchise?
oh god. Mario.
That was not very satisfying.
I mean,
I
don't
was
know what
really
more to
hoping
tell
for
you.
something spicy. I think a lot of people would actually agree with that one.
I mean, I mean, I
What's
would
the most
go
what's the most overrated Marvel movie of the MCU movies? What's the most
most over.
overrated one?
Oh my god.
Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna give you a hard one.
Thor Ragnarok.
Oh god damn you! I hate you. We're not letting Corey give hot takes anymore on this show. Between this and the Bethesda bullshit, he's done.
Good thing you asked me about movies and Nintendo and not about like real video games.
God, let it be known, Ed. Corey does not consider Nintendo games real video games. Nerd asks,
He knows that. We argue about that all the time.
when Destiny 2 ends, does this become a Christian Minecraft podcast? Fuck no. And then Fox
Hold on.
closes. Go
Before
ahead.
there's this there was oh my god. I have to send this video.
Are you okay,
Have you
Corey?
so the god what the fuck the wedding song that's like cha cha real smooth. Have you ever seen
Yeah,
weird Christian version of that?
unfortunately.
Oh my god, that's so fucking
I have
funny.
absolutely seen it.
Oh man,
Oh
just
boy.
thinking about it makes me laugh. Anyways, but no, we're not gonna turn into a Christian Minecraft.
No.
Peace
No
be
Christian
peace,
Minecraft podcast. And
peace be
then
with you
Fox.
though. Some
Peace be
religion
with you.
says that.
Peace be with you, my son. Fox asks, "Do you guys still love me even if I'm an Adam Sandler hater?"
No.
Yes.
Mm.
Oh, well, the jury is divided. Yes and no.
I mean, it depends. You know what? I'll let him stay. It's fine.
He has been a really good raid leader for us.
That's true. He got me through Root of Nightmares.
He did get you through Root of Nightmares. Did you get an exotic out of it?
I did not.
That's a bummer.
I didn't get anything really that great out of it, but it was fun. So
That's fair. That's fair. Well, Corey, we have two lore corners this week because I wanted to catch up a little bit since we skipped it last week. We got two pieces
let's
here,
do it.
both from this week, as a matter of fact, from this final mission
Final
of
countdown.
the season. Man, I'm really hoping we get some fun Guardian Games lore because I really enjoyed the story about the Guardian bookie. Yeah, I really enjoyed the bookie and the what was it, the Elixir last year that we're betting on it too, watching it in Spider's Bar.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed all that. This one is from the book Sightlines. It's a book about Devrim that we get this season. This is number 6, The Battle Within. Guardians and civilian functionaries bustled past Devrim as he made his way towards Zavala's office in the tower. The graying scout took a deep breath and was discomforted by an assault of body odor, pollution, market spices, and the sharp sting of aerosolized ether. He suddenly yearned for the clean forest air of Trossland. He knocked sharply on the office door and it opened it tentatively. Zavala beckoned him in. The scout sat beside the commander's enormous desk, which was cluttered with minimized displays and blinking holographic reminders. Each, Devrin assumed, was an urgent waiting orders. "Thank you for stopping by," Zavala said. "I know you're busy." Devrim arched his eyebrows. "I suppose that's relative, Commander." He gestured to the field of demanding messages. Zavala dimmed his desktop display with a wave of his hand. "That's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about. As the Vanguard has grown over the decades, leadership is getting further and further from the civilians we're protecting." "I can imagine," Devrim replied sympathetically. "It seems as though the tower grows taller every year." "Indeed." Zavala fixed Devrim with an inscrutable look. Was it fatigue, regret, resentment? But the moment passed. "We need a fresh perspective from the ground," the Titan continued matter-of-factly. "Someone who understands both the Vanguard's missions and the civilian populace. An attaché of sorts who can help us coordinate with local governments. I'd like that person to be you." "Ah," Devrim replied. He had feared something like this was coming. "Mark would be thrilled. He's been hounding me to get out of the field. Then perhaps it's time." "I appreciate the offer," Devrim replied tactfully, "but I'm afraid I'm not ready to put down my rifle just yet. My knees aren't what they once were, but with age becomes clarity. I used to think working recon made me reclusive, but now I rather believe it's the other way around." "What you're describing is public relations," the scout continued, "and I couldn't imagine anyone less qualified than myself." "I understand, but recon is risky work," Zavala objected. "The longer you're in the field, the greater the chance that something will go wrong." "That's true," Devrim admitted, "but as dangerous as it is in Trossland, no battlefield frightens me more than this one." He gestured again to the barrage of unanswered messages. "I'll take my chances with the Shadow Legion, thank you." Zavala leaned back in his chair and frowned. "I'm disappointed." He turned his attention to the array of messages. "But I understand. Not a day goes by that I don't miss the field, actually seeing results instead of just reading about them." The commander sighed. "I accept your decision, but if Mark ever asks me why you're still in the field, I won't lie," he cautioned. Devrim chuckled nervously. "That's a different mission altogether." So a couple takeaways here. We know that Devrim doesn't have a whole lot of contact with the Guardians of the Tower.
yeah,
But this whole book has really been about him and, you know, him growing tired of being out in the field and also, his interactions with Mark, who only recently has come into the lore over the last year or two. And that's been really, really nice to see. But he talks about this and talks about it. And I think this is interesting because I think this kind of gives us a rationale for why he remains in that tower after all this time. Because Trossland is dangerous. No, it's not. It's a bunch of level 1 fucking dregs out there. There's a whole bunch of guardians out there testing weapons. Devrim is safe. Trust me. So I get it from that perspective. Something else that comes to mind really quickly is a line from The Wire where Zavala, Lance Reddick is talking to the prosecutor that works with major crimes, and she's like, "Oh," and Lester gave me this condescending look, and it's funny because hearing in Zavala's voice, it kind of sounds like, oh, it should be like Zavala, somebody saying it about Zavala. And Lance Reddick goes, "Did he look at you over the top of his glasses?" And look at you and not say anything, and has had this look on his face of, I'm the father you never had, and I'm very disappointed in you. That's kind of what this feels like here. Like, Zavala is being everyone's fucking dad. And, like, he's trying to tell Devrim, who is clearly a grown ass man, what he should do with his time.
Yeah.
But I get where he's coming from. Like, Zavala doesn't have a lot of people around him he can trust anymore.
Yeah.
Saladin and him had only recently started talking again, and Saladin's now on, a Cabal cruiser for life. Crow basically is not allowed in Zavala's sights anymore after the bullshit he pulled.
Right.
Ikora and Zavala have been growing distant ever since Cade's death. He doesn't really communicate with Eris. His friends are Marasov, and that's about it.
Marasov.
Yeah. Oh, he likes Hawthorne, I guess. And he just lost his surrogate daughter, so which
Also true.
that's the next part of our lore corner, is because I've seen some complaints of, oh well, we never really get the impression that Zavala and Amanda are close, and that's true. So they heard that and they said bet and started beating us over the head with it. This is Brazen Spark. This is the ship that you get from the end of this final quest of the season. Zavala glanced past the flight instructor to the clock on the wall. He was becoming impatient, but meetings like this could not be rushed. After which, she gave me a bent grape, the disgruntled teacher concluded. Is that bad? Zavala inquired. It sure ain't good, a teenage Amanda Holiday piped up. She was slouched in her chair next to Zavala, her lank hair hanging over her eyes. You see, the flight instructor stood, his face turning red. This young lady's disrespectful attitude is a danger to herself, her teammates, and her aircraft. Amanda rolled her eyes. Zavala frowned at the young charge. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. It will be dealt with. The flight instructor shook the commander's hand. I hope so. Amanda shows a lot of potential, and I'd hate to see it wasted. After they'd been dismissed, Zavala walked with Amanda across the hangar bay. He gestured to a Hawk airship. Do you know how those ships are made? He asked. The sullen teenager shrugged, her eyes downcast. It takes a lot of people, Zavala continued. Scrappers risk fallen attacks in the Cosmodrome to find the materials. Machinists get burned. They lose fingers forging the parts. Mechanics throw out their backs to keep them running. Yeah, so? Amanda scoffed. When you talk back to your instructors, Zavala replied, or you think you're better than their lessons, you're not just disrespecting them, you're disrespecting all the people who built those ships. You make yourself unworthy of their sacrifices. One day you'll be a pilot, the commander stated with certainty, and you had better hope that all those people gave the same respect to their jobs that you owe to yours. Though she didn't raise her eyes, Amanda nodded sheepishly. Because otherwise, Zavala concluded, you'll never get off the ground. I'm the father you never had, and I'm very disappointed in you. That's all I take away from this. But no, really, it is nice to see that they've really come full circle with the we've talked about the Destiny 2 teaser trailer that shows Zavala coming to the city, building the city and stuff, and eventually Amanda Holiday coming to the city. And we all kind of drew that conclusion. We're like, oh, that's a nice little Easter egg. And it's like, oh no, shit, that was actually real.
Yeah.
And this was, obviously years after Sophia and Hakeem died. And it's kind of the first time I think Zavala allowed himself to care about another person, and took her under his wing. And now he's had to watch her die also, while knowing that he is immortal.
Yeah.
It really feels like this year is going to take a toll on Zavala. Like when we get lore like this, and I think getting lore entries like this just makes the loss of Lance even harder, I think, to process through the lens of a game, because it's like,
Yeah.
well, shit, like I'm reading this in his voice,
Right.
and that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, the more and more this stuff is happening to Zavala, the more and more I'm like, he's. I think I feel like Zavala is done after the final shape. Like,
I think so too. I think at the very least they're going to retire the character. I don't know if he'll get. I think they were setting it up for a death. I think now it's just going to be like, we're going to retire the character so that we can leave him in game in the tower. But especially if they move to a Destiny 3, that makes it easier, I think, to cut the cord. Like,
Yeah.
he'll live on forever in D2.
Yeah. I did see a theory that if Zavala dies, Amanda will come back as a Titan and take over, and Crow, Amanda, and who's the other one? Somebody
Ikora.
else. Yeah. Well,
The problem
there'll
is
be
we don't have another Warlock running around. That's the problem.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is like there's going to be a new Vanguard, and it's going to be Amanda, Crow, and someone else, right? That's the idea.
Man,
Somebody was pitching.
I would low key kind of hate that. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
yeah.
I think it would be really unearned. I think the person that it would feel earned for would be. I can't believe I'm going to say these words. I think it would be Hawthorne. It would feel earned because we have the Guardian Games lore for her, obviously, where she
Hmm.
competes as a Titan, and that her and Zavala are seen to like actually have somewhat of a relationship after the Destiny 2 campaign. Like, they get along really well. And I'm not saying like relationship as in like they're fucking, but they're getting
No,
along good.
they're
Like she's an
saving
honorary
that for
Titan.
Keitel.
Oh, dude, space rhinos, man.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that like the Vanguard is going to exist in the traditional sense after the Light and Dark saga is over.
Hmm.
I think that we're just like we're kind of past that. We're back to the old consensus of things.
Yeah.
I don't think there necessarily needs to be like a representative of each class anymore. There probably still will be, and I could see like I think Ikora will still be the one to do that. That would be
Yeah.
a way to keep her on Earth and not travel
Hmm.
with you. If
Yeah.
she doesn't outright just retire after everything, But
Yeah.
again, it leads to the problem of there's not another warlock right now, unless like I don't know, Ido comes back as a warlock or something, or God
Yeah.
forbid, Aramis.
Well, we kind of came up with the other a couple weeks ago, maybe it was last week, I don't remember, but like where they start creating like a universe council instead of just guardians, right? Like Kaido would be involved, Mithrax maybe, or Ido. Like you get some a representative from the different races to be part of the decision making now too, right?
Yeah, I mean, you'll 100% get that. I think that you've got Mara representing the Awoken, obviously. I think Crow can speak for the Hunters. Anna Bray can speak for, some of the scientists. There's plenty of people who can speak up, I think.
Hmm.
Um, I'd like to see something like that, but I'm still a pretty firm believer that until they prove me wrong, we're leaving this solar system after Final Shape.
Yeah.
Jesus, I don't know if you can hear that. It is raining hard outside right now.
I do not hear it, but I believe it.
That's good. This is like the third rainstorm that we've had this evening. So, but it
Yeah,
is
it's
it is
moving up this way
loud.
too. Yeah. So,
So,
mm.
but I think that's gonna do it for our lore corner tonight, Corey.
Yeah, I it was a good one. It was a good one. It's time to prepare for Guardian games, a little Iron Banner. I'm going to play some Iron Banner tonight right now actually, I think, before I go to bed cuz I can.
A little what?
So, Iron Banner.
Iron Banner's not up this week.
Is it not?
Iron Banner
Maybe it's
returns at reset on Tuesday.
this coming week. Never mind then.
Yes,
Pass.
this coming Tuesday will be your final Iron Banner of the season. So go get that shader. I will 100% be earning it.
I,
I have not
I will
played.
not be playing Iron Banner tonight then.
Momentum control is up.
It's true.
SWAT.
Hmm.
You can go play some Gambit. Bank those moats, buddy.
Anyway, I'm
I will be playing
gonna
some Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I've been really enjoying that. Been playing with our friend Ray. It's been a lot of fun.
nice. Maybe I will play some Resident Evil 4 then because we have a book club coming up for that on the
Ooh.
other show. So I need to beat that this weekend. So I'll do that.
And Corey doesn't like horror games, so
I don't.
I
So
will say if you don't like horror games, RE4 is probably the best one to play.
yeah.
Because it was the one that like made the shift like, yeah, it's still horror, but it's like more action than horror in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
Especially
Yeah.
the remake.
The damn bear traps though, man.
But you know what we're getting next week? At the time this show goes live next week, I'll be
Star
playing Jedi
Wars.
Survivor. 139 gigs on Series X and PS5.
I know. It's like 147 on PC.
It's only 40
hilarious.
on the Series S. I was like, I may be playing this on my Series S without the next gen textures and without the 4K.
in like
That's
probably
insane.
30 frames a second.
I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. I'll do it. I'll do it.
More power to you, man.
I think that's going to do it for us tonight, Corey.
It is. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of Tower Casuals. Remember, you can follow us at Tower Casuals. Join the Discord with me and Josh. Josh, where can we find you?
The Discord. You can find me in the Discord. I'm Finn in the Discord. You guys can still find me on Twitter for right now, at Josh_Finn. But I'm using it more and more sparingly these days.
Complain about the Mavericks.
Oh my god, no! The Mavericks season is fucking over. I'm done. I'm watching hockey and baseball now because those teams could actually win in Dallas after so many years. So no, we got the NFL draft coming up. There's still playoff basketball to be played. Got to see if Draymond Green steps on anybody else's chest.
Cavs,
Got to see the Cavs beat the
Knicks.
shit out of the Knicks.
I don't know. That first game was rough.
I'm an honorary Cavs fan. I believe in Donovan Mitchell. At least in this first round, I believe in him. I don't know about beyond that, but I believe in him for the first round for the sole purpose of beating the Knicks and Rick Brunson.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. The thing is we don't have a wing. We don't have a 3-man, a decent 3-man. Karis LeVert's fine.
You guys could have had Tim Hardaway Jr.
Could have, but we would have had to give up too much.
But instead, we're going to package him with a first-round pick to get someone good.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, at least if nothing else, you can take away that Donovan Mitchell is probably going to get first-team All-NBA over Luka Doncic.
I mean, that's
Which
great,
makes me really sad, but...
I'm just really tired of every single person in Cleveland saying, we should get LeBron back.
Why? He's already going to do the one-day contract with you guys at the end. He's going into the Hall of Fame as a Cav. If he hadn't brought you the title, then I would see the argument.
Yeah.
But he brought you, like, other than the Mavericks title, probably the greatest title of, like, the last 30 years.
Right. But
like, I'm really biased when it comes to the Mavs, obviously. Dirk won that title by himself.
Look, man, I live in a town where everybody still thinks Bernie Kosar is the greatest thing that ever happened to the Browns. So
Jesus Christ. Do they still believe in Tim Couch, too?
No, but he is on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.
Oh, my God.
Every Monday.
God, get me out of here, Corey. Get me out of here. I can't do this.
You can find me at IamCoreyHD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on my other podcasts if you want. You can go look them up. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. And
yeah, you almost saw me die on camera.
I did. Josh, by the way, we'll talk about it after the show.
Okay.
All right. Well, goodbye, everybody. Bye.